Alright, YouTube, I thought I'd do a review of the speakers. So, here we go. We got, they're pretty neat, you know? I'm still using that freaking DVD player with a built-in amp, but I'm getting a receiver soon. I haven't ordered it yet, but I'm gonna order it in a couple days, once I get the capital to do so. Anyways, so a review of the speakers. Now, hooked up to this thing, they sound like shit. They sound freaking terrible. They're awful, because this thing is, it wasn't designed to, it wasn't designed for you to be able to hook different speakers up to it. You were supposed to use the tiny little full-range Sony speakers that came with it. In fact, I bought this thing a couple years ago when I was still just a sound system amateur. And, it was a good buy, but, you know, it's done its job. I got my money's worth out of it, and I'm just going to scrap it and get a new one. Or, you know, I might save it for something else. But, it wasn't designed to run a subwoofer like that, although it does an okay job. But the thing is, it's only putting out treble through all these speakers. So, this speaker's not doing anything. It's like the tweeters on these speakers are the only things that's working. The only speaker that's putting out full sound is this, and it's like putting sound through these, and the tweeter seems like it's barely working on that thing, because it probably is. Piece of junk. But just the tweeter there, tweeter there, tweeter there, tweeter there. That's all that's working, and it kind of concerns me, because these tweeters are getting staticky and vibrating and shit, and I know that is not good for them. That is, you can damage a tweeter doing that. So I gotta get a new receiver soon. So I haven't really been able to play any music or any loud volumes or anything like that on these. Hooked up that thing, that is, because of that problem with the tweeters there. But I'm gonna get that fixed when I got my new receiver. I can only really play talking volume, so I'm sorry, I will not be doing a sound test in this video. But anyways, on to the review. These are great speakers. As you can see, they do have removable covers, and I like to run my speakers naked because I just like to see the speakers. It looks kind of cool. Makes it look powerful or whatever. So here we got a 3/4 inch soft dome venturi tweeter. Now, soft dome, I prefer soft dome tweeters over hard dome tweeters because they sound better no matter what. Whereas hard tweeters or whatever you call them, hard dome, I think it's hard dome. They sound terrible unless you use the right kind of metals. And the high quality metals and shit that they use in the things are toxic. Like, they make fucking tweeters out of beryllium, and I don't want that in my house, you know? I don't want something that's powering a microwave that nukes my food, putting out sound. I just don't want that right out in my house. So, soft dome's better than hard dome. I don't care what you say. Hard dome only sounds good if you get the right thing, but the right thing can be toxic and kill you if you're not careful. So yeah, and I was kind of iffy on that 3/4 inch tweeter, because all my other tweeters are an inch, and these things are supposed to be loud, you know, and I didn't expect that little tweeter to do much, but it's producing most of the sound from these speakers, which is sad right now. Like, these drivers aren't doing anything, but it does a very good job. But like I said, it's clippy and staticky, and the tweeter vibrates, and I've never felt a tweeter vibrate before, and I'm afraid I'm gonna pop them. But they're doing a good job. They're putting out clear sound past all the static and shit, of course. But I gotta get a new receiver, Jesus Christ. So yeah. Anyway, so I did hear how these things actually sound, because I had them hooked up to my pile amp in my room. But these things were too powerful for that amp. I had to take the lid off of it, and I had a fan blown on it, and it was still getting hot. But yeah, I was breaking these in the unboxing video, if anyone saw that, and they sounded pretty good. I was amazed by the frickin' bass. The bass is spectacular. I played I Love You bass on these things, and it was so clear. These speakers can go down to such low frequencies. It's amazing. And these are, in bass quality, better than Bowers & Wilkins and a lot of other speakers, but only because those two, excuse me, those two speakers down there Or not speakers, they're passive radiators, like I mentioned. But I mean, it's weird because they don't feel like passive radiators. They feel like actual speakers, because if they were passive radiators, you should be able to, like, twist them around and shit, man, whatever. But yeah, because of those passive radiators, these things have amazing bass. I mean, you do not need a subwoofer, although I still recommend that you get a subwoofer. Because subwoofer just fills in whatever these miss, but they do a fabulous job of producing bass, I'll tell you that. The mid-range is pretty good too. And they look nice. I mean, like I said, I thought they would be painted, but no, they're painted. The hell am I saying? I thought they'd be painted, but no, they're stained, and it looks cool. And they're polished, nice. They just look really cool. They're really nice. One thing I didn't think about, and I don't know why I didn't think about this. This is like #1 thing to think about when you're doing a surround sound system. Your speakers don't have to match, but you at least want their impedance to match. Or I hate saying that. I'm going to say independence. I like saying that. I know that's not right. But you want their independence to match. That sounds stupid too. Okay, these are 8 ohms, these are 6 ohms. That's what it's going to be. So, these are 6 ohms, and they're 5 to 40 watts of 6 ohms, which is weak and laughable. But I mean, they were so cheap, and I just got them for this system. But I mean, then I wanted to upgrade, so then I got these. And one thing I'm worried about is I don't want to be running 8 ohm speakers, a fucking 5 ohm speaker. Yeah, seriously, fucking 5 ohms. I've never seen that before. And then these 6 ohm speakers on a receiver, and it makes everything weird. You know what I mean? And I mean, some people say, oh no, it doesn't hurt them. Well, it doesn't hurt them if you do it right. Like, this is an 8 ohm receiver, 8 ohms only, nothing lower. These are 6 ohm speakers. Now, these speakers will eventually kill this receiver. It will die. But, you know, it's a little warm. I don't blame it. But, you know, it's slow. And I don't care if they kill that thing, I'm getting rid of it anyways. But I mean, if you're using 6 ohm speakers on an 8 ohm receiver, then it could hurt them. But if it's like a 4 ohm receiver and you're using 8 ohm speakers, then everything's going to be fine and dandy. But I mean, when I get my new receiver, I don't want to run it at 4 ohms. So, because I mean, I got a 5 ohm speaker, but I mean, that probably won't damage the receiver. So I think I'm going to set it for 6 ohms, so it'll power those, and it'll power those, and I have it set up so all the sound's coming from, what the hell am I talking about? I'm reviewing these things. I did the review on these things. I'll get more into the sound system later. Peace.